Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Bob DiMaria with another episode of Ask Dr. Bob from Naples, Florida and Westlake, Ohio. Question number one. Dr. Bob, please help me. I recently was looking at a few vegan recipes and they seem to be against any kind of oil. What would you say? I am not exactly sure what oil they're having you avoid. I do know that there are some oils that come from animal sources. So more than likely, because vegans will minimize their amount of oil from any kind of animal, that could be a reason. I do know that there are healthy oils like flax oil, and you could use avocado and rice oil and olive oil, which are all plant-based. I do know that oil is very, very important for optimal cell function. For yourself personally, you might want to consider the omega test to determine the exact layers and levels of oils in your body. You want to minimize omega-6 oils because they can cause inflammation. That's a very good question, by the way. How do you know if you have yeast overload? And what do you do for nail fungus? Well, it's kind of interesting. In my very first book, Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 Days, we talked about the sputum test or the saliva test. And this be for anybody anywhere in the world right now. It's a great test. When you wake up in the morning, first thing, you literally spit in a glass of water. The sputum should float. If it starts to sink, there is the potential you could have a yeast issue. Also, you could have someone look at your blood under the microscope because you'll see yeast under a microscope. And then it's just questions. Do you have a fungus in your mouth? Do you have white in your mouth? Now, toenail fungus almost always comes from a chronic colon problem. There's something called a CBC with a differential. And if your basophils are not 0, if they're 1 or 2, potentially you could have colon issues. That was really important, by the way. You might want to listen to that again. Dr. Bob, I have stomach gas and I want to get it better without drugs. I use eucalyptus oil and another product from essential oil company. Any other suggestions? Well, we use a product called Hydro-Zyme, which is a digestive enzyme, and we encourage our practice members to take it mid-meal. You have to watch your food combining. If you're going to eat animal tissue, you don't necessarily want to eat a grain with it because of the acid and alkaline imbalance. Also, I know people can have gas issues because of a gallbladder challenge. Your gallbladder might not be secreting enough bile. I'd encourage you to look at Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Detoxification, where I go into great detail. Simple rule of thumb: if you have digestive distress immediately after eating, think lack of digestive enzymes. If it's 2 or 3 hours later, it could be a gallbladder issue. And we talk about that also in Dr. Bob's Guide to Prevent Surgery. Last question. All these questions have been very good. What health issues are caused by peanut butter? Well, if you would have asked me that 20 years ago, I would have told you ADHD because of the partially hydrogenated oils. But they've taken partially hydrogenated oils out of peanut butter, but there is sugar in it. But I can tell you, most often, people who have a passion for peanut butter tend to have chronic sinus problems. Very good questions. I'm Dr. Bob DiMaria.